Hey yo, what's up everybody, it's Zane JJ. Today we're coming back a video basically talking about Midas investment, and of course from this channel itself I basically been I would say like promoting, I would not really say promoting, but of course just sharing an opportunity out there for you guys to know that making crypto passive income is possible, and of course from there you can generate income from home, basically doing as good as nothing. So on the channel itself, I will do my best to basically bring opportunity like this to the channel. But of course, you have to know that there's always risk associated with it. And of course, unfortunately, on this video itself, we're gonna say that Midas investment itself has already fallen. Yet another one. And of course, from there, I'm gonna basically do a disclaimer. Gonna do a breakdown on how did I found out that Midas is going to like collapse before it even collapsed. And after that, from there, I'm gonna basically share with you what I have basically done the research about this Midas investment going forward and stuff like this. And of course, I would say they are technically close. They're closing down their project, but of course, they are going forward with another type of project, but similar to whatever approach that they are using as of now to basically improve it and stuff like this. And of course, gonna give you my thoughts about it. So I would say on this video itself, I'm gonna link some of the affiliate links down below for you guys to basically put your funds, like let's say if you still want to put your funds into any platform itself, I will basically recommend like Flynt Finance, Haru Invest, and other program slash project that is basically linked down below itself. And of course, if you have not subscribed to the channel, kindly help me smash the like button. Basically it's free, and of course subscribe to the channel, which is free as well. But of course, if you want to basically support the Patreon itself, it's basically linked down below as well. And of course, without further ado, we're gonna basically talk about how did I know like Midas investment will fall before it even fell. So we hear what happened on my Telegram group itself. It was, I think, before Christmas or something like that. It's after Christmas, 26th of December. I basically made an announcement. Hello everybody. After careful of review on the Midas platform itself, I am basically removing my funds, and of course I'm basically urging people to do it as well. So if you're on my channel itself, you're in my discussion group on Telegram itself, you're lucky you have seen the message. And of course, if let's say you've seen the message and you took action to it, basically you have saved your money, and really appreciate you by basically like answering to the call itself. And after that, from there, by removing your funds, because the day after I announced this itself, they did an update on their policy, their TNC, terms and condition. And of course from there, they have done, after they changed their TNC itself, a few hours later they announced the closure of Midas investment. And of course it's a bit scary, and after that, how did I even like know about this shit is gonna happen itself? So I would say it's not 100% credits to me itself. I would say that there is some of the viewers that is on my channel itself, they basically came to me and after they told me to basically like, hey, check out Midas investment. They gave me some warning, because I assume that they have done like been on their, what is that called, their AMA, their video. And after that, from there, like following Midas investment for a very long time and very tightly. And of course from there, I would say that, yeah, kudos to them. And after that, from there, they warned me itself. And after that, from there, I believe that I am one of the promoters slash, not really a promoter, but of course one of the people that is in the group itself, in the crypto space, doing all this kind of promotion. And of course from there, whoever is in my group slash community, I must definitely warn them, because I know that you guys follow me to basically generate passive income. So you use my link itself, and of course I would try my best to protect you guys by knowing information, and of course from there sharing with you guys. But of course I would say that I'm not gonna name whoever it is. It's just a random person that is on the group itself, a viewer, a fan. And after that, from there, I would say thanks for that. And after that, from there, people has been removing their funds. And after that, from there, for my own case itself, I have around like $50 on Midas. And after that, from there, how do I even know it will fall is basically after I announce it, I head over to their research. And after that, from there, I found out that Midas itself, they have lost quite a few significant amount in DeFi platform. Basically the fall of whatever DeFi during the span of like 2022. There was a lot of new DeFi project out there, and after that, from there, Midas will be one of the hedge fund to basically jump into this type of platform, because they can make like insane yields, like within like a month or two. They can basically yield like up to 100%, 200%, and after that, from there, they will use that amount to basically distribute their funds to the clients. But of course, eventually that some of the stuff over here does not really match itself. So I'm going to explain to you later on about it, on my thoughts itself. So I'm just going to tell you what is going to happen. We're going to exactly see what happened to Midas investment, and after that, from there, we can have a better understanding through the resources that is on their platform, and after that it's public. So by heading to their Trustpilot itself, you can see that the 1-star review itself, there's quite a number of them. Basically, they say Midas stole investment, stole people money, and after that, from there, lock the platform. Basically, they are criminals, and after that, Midas investment is a scam, back holding a worthless token, basically the Midas token, I assume. And after that, because they are offering like high APYs, and of course, one of the red flag that I found out, I was using Midas during the start of this, making and promoting sharing this opportunity. But of course, eventually I found out that Midas itself is somehow far more riskier than what I have expected, because they are heading towards DeFi itself. First of all, you are already risking your funds towards one of the company, and after that, from there, they are going to risk your fund into the decentralized wild west, which always been exploited for hacks, and after that, from there, there's a lot of smart contract exploitation going on. Therefore, I would say it's another red flag for me. So during the start itself, I think during the first month or two, I have been like putting funds in with Midas itself around 10,000 or so. I think so. And after that, from there, I eventually withdrew everything. And of course, eventually they came out with their own token itself, and it's another red flag for me. So I have since then I have not really put in a lot of money in, maybe $100 or so. And after that, from there, what have actually happened itself, we can see that beware of these crooks. Many more of this review itself. If you want to read it, it's quite entertaining, because there's a golden rule in the space itself. Only put the funds that you can afford to lose, and after that, don't go and mortgage your house, don't go and take up personal loans to dump everything into an investment that you are uncertain, and of course, never use debt. I never go and invest. Take a loan or whatsoever to throw into a speculative, skeptical product itself, because you will end up hurting yourself. So I would say the fact itself, we're gonna look at what have happened. So over here, we can see this over here is one of the closure video they have done by Trevor itself, the founder / CEO of Midas Investment. So they have done this 57-minute video, and I really watch it, and you can look at my face. I'm a bit tired because I'm like watching what he's saying and everything. To be honest, I'm gonna summarize it for you. So the planned agenda for this video itself is basically talking about the plan to balance out the assets and liability. So what happened itself, Midas Investment lost money through the investment that they have done, and after that, from there, there's a bank run happening on Midas itself after the fall of Celsius, FTX, and after the many more big players itself. So a lot of people do not trust their money in the centralized entity, so they withdrew their money. So Midas was affected, and from the video itself, he have mentioned around 60% of the asset under management was being withdrawn throughout the span of like a few months. Less than a month. And after that, from there, they have a loss of around 20% of the assets under management. Therefore, they can't really pay everybody out. Therefore, I would say there was some liability and assets itself can't be balanced out. They can't give everybody out their money, and after that, eventually, this is the plan based on the assets liability. And after that, from there, you can see they have a redemption plan to basically you can see the vision for a new project and personal closing thoughts. So over here, the video itself tells us, I already done it. I watch it. I'm gonna link it down below if you want to watch it. And after that, from there, it is quite, most of the video, majority of the section itself is basically talking about what have happened on Midas through the span of the 5 years. And after that, from there, we can see that this over here is the plan of redemption is for you to basically get back your money and stuff like this. We're going to talk about that later, but of course, I'm just going to show you one of the video. So over here, they're just talking about the timeline leading up to their closure. So over here, you can see January itself, they made a freaking ROI of 45%. Eventually, the ROI kept dropping, and eventually the payouts can't really match up with their assets under management, because they have a large influx of assets, basically people putting more money with them. And after that, eventually, maybe on January itself, they have like maybe 50 million assets on under management, and they managed to make 54% out of this 50 million. And eventually the next month, 100 million came in, and after that, they only made 28%. And of course, all the money itself that they receive itself eventually is 50 million made 54%, and after the 100 million come in, they made 28%. Eventually, it keeps going down the ROI because of the scary space out there. The DeFi space itself is not, I would say it's no longer profitable, but of course, it's definitely profitable. But of course, from the long run itself and sustainability itself, you will need to have a fixed amount of like capital to basically be sustainable. You can't be making like you can't be having at the start, maybe basically you can have like 50 million, but eventually at the end of the after 6 months, you have 500 million in your assets. and after that from there the ROI itself keeps dropping, and eventually you can't cover everybody's the promises. Basically the yield itself, they can't really promise it, and after that can't pay everybody out. Therefore, yeah, some would like to call it a Ponzi, which I would say I agree on that. And of course, eventually, most of the video itself is talking about a Q1, Q2, Q3, and after that, I would say it's kind of freaking boring. And after that, eventually, yeah, so this is what happened with Midas investment itself in a nutshell. So I'm gonna basically explain to you what is gonna happen to your money for those who have not withdrawn your funds. So from the video segment itself, we can see that what is going to happen to your funds itself is simple. They are going to basically compensate through whatever they have as of now. So over here, what is going to happen is, let's say you have a balance of like maybe throughout the span, maybe let's say you have deposited $10,000 into Midas investment since the start until now. Eventually, you have already withdrawn money on the way itself. So for example, your all-time rewards itself, for example, it is yeah, maybe you have $10,000 and your rewards accumulated to $10,000, for example, and eventually there's gonna be no balance for you, so you are not gonna be able to take back any money because you have already withdrawn the money from the platform through the rewards itself. And after that, eventually, basically, you have nothing. So if let's say you have $5,000, but your all-time rewards, you are fairly new to the platform itself, you only made like $200, you are just getting back 4,800 on the new balance itself. But I believe this new balance itself, they are not really going to pay you out immediately, but they are gonna basically use whatever that they have to basically invest into the going forward plan itself. And after that, I would say, to be honest with you guys, is I'm not going to crush your hopes, and of course not like going to dump an ice bucket on you or whatsoever, but to be honest, on a space like this itself, for Midas to crash to do a closure like this, I would say it's quite decent. And after that, as of now, it is one of the project that I see that it is somehow transparent, and after that from there they are trying to compensate, and of course not really going to bankrupt the whole company or whatsoever. But over here, we have to know that they have some secured creditors itself, and after that, they are gonna basically the secured creditors itself. They want their money back. They have the obligation to give them back. And of course, as of us, basically retail investor, we are unsecured creditors. Therefore, we can be given zero fucks. And after that, I'm just gonna be utterly truthful with you. Basically, zero fucks will be given to the unsecured creditors, and after that, they can just ignore you. And after that, from there, there's pretty much nothing you can do. And after that, legal action itself, it is going to be money out of your own pocket. And of course, suing a company that is going to go bankrupt, I mean, you won't get back anything. Therefore, in the sense of monetary value itself, it makes no freaking sense. So I would say only invest in money that you can afford to lose in whatever project that it is. And of course, if let's say you want to basically be secured, be a secure creditor itself, first of all, you have to be 50 rich, you have to have status, and after that, you have to like invest via a company, which I would say an investment company or something like that. Basically, you will be named as a secure creditor. So to get this secure creditor status itself, I believe you need to have a net assets of like maybe $1 million or even $10 million to get that status. And of course, from there, your investment will be very safe and smooth sailing. But of course, eventually, regardless of what it is in the space itself, do not put money that you cannot afford to lose. And of course, if let's say you do not trust anyone to handle your money itself, just store it in a hardware wallet, which is linked down below itself if you want to support the channel. And of course, I would say what is going to happen to Midas for those who are looking at, okay, I might get back some money, and how am I going to get back my money now? So we're here for the new year of 2023. 23 itself, Midas Investment is gonna basically do the first month, do some market research, prototyping the DeFi/CeFi, this CeDeFi business model, and after that, from the creation of the prototype valve and strategy, basically the smart contract, something like that, and building a whole new investment process itself towards it. And of course, to be honest, with this falling out itself, I believe some of you guys might be a Midas fan or whatsoever. You might be thinking, okay, I'm going to give them another chance, and after that, I'm going to basically put another $10,000 and try it out. But of course, for me myself itself, I would not be really throwing money into this type of platform anymore. But of course, I'm going to just stick with whatever I'm currently using, basically Haru Invest and Flynt. I would just be utterly true with you. I think I'm only using these two platforms as of now, which have like a decent of $1,000 and above. I would say this is the platform that I'm really using. Instead, I would say if let's say there's $1,000 and below value, I'm not gonna basically say that I'm not using them, but I'm still using them, but of course not really notable. And of course for Midas itself, they're gonna take 3 months if I'm not wrong. February itself, here February they're gonna do more market research, start an investment and after that from there develop talking. Basically they're gonna talk about taking up some partnership and stuff like this. So that's for February, and as of now there's really nothing much already. So basically their plan forward itself is for the 2 months itself, and of course you can look at their Discord. So here Discord itself, he have made basically a guide, I mean like telling us that Midas itself lost 20% of the total AUM, and after that from there in the FTX event they hit a bank run of 60% on the AUM being withdrawn, and after that from there there's a large deficit, therefore they can't pay everybody else, so already mentioned. So they decided to shut down the whole thing, and of course by looking at this itself we can see this is the basically total deficit amount that they have lost. So this over here was the red flag for me to basically tell people to withdraw their money before the day itself, and after that from there you can see that if you have not withdrawn during the announcement that I've made, basically your funds is being stuck as of now, and after that hopefully they will do something to return the money. So they're gonna basically revamp their whole company itself. They're gonna plan out how to basically start the whole Midas platform all over again, and after that from there with some partnership with DeFi and stuff like this. So for partnership itself, I would just say that if let's say you have a partnership ongoing with a financial company / a financial staff itself, definitely you have the insiders news, and after that from there you can use your company to rip off others. And of course, to be honest, it's the investment space. If let's say you are making some gains itself in the world, there's somebody losing their money, and of course this is just how it works. Money does not come out from thin air itself, and of course if you are winning, just know that somebody else is losing, and after that be humble about it, and after that from there do not like flex your winnings or whatsoever. Just be humble about it, and of course make the world a better place. And of course I would say I'm gonna give my thoughts about Midas investment, and of course you should really stay for this segment. So thoughts about it itself, I would say Midas itself is one of the platform that I mean you can I will not say trust, but of course use their knowledge to basically make some money, because they are using your money itself to basically invest into the DeFi space, which I believe a lot of people do not know what the heck is a protocol, the DeFi Alpha, the Harmony Bridge, the FTM token, and after that many more stuff like this. But over here the two part that I say that these two over here, this 15 million, that is basically showed that due to balancing the Midas investment in the illiquid market itself, to be honest, this is not a loss to me personally, because it is your own token out of thin air, and after that from that 10 million for higher rates blah blah blah, basically is another about the Midas boost itself. So I would say it's not really a way that you can say you lost money through your own token that is basically free. And after that from there on the flea market, or let's say the liquidity pool itself, yes you need to pump in the liquidity, but of course eventually at the end of the day it is still your token out of thin air, so you can't really write it as a loss. And after that from there I would say for the ongoing itself, if let's say you already lost money with Midas itself, and after that from there in the future, if let's say they reopen up deposits or whatsoever, I would not really recommend you to basically put your funds in again, because history might repeat itself. And of course, to be honest, this over here is by far a very transparent closure. And after that I would say that as of today itself, what happened itself, I can see that first of all they changed their terms and condition. So for this itself, the terms and condition has been changed, I think probably due to the legal team basically advising. And after that from there, if let's say they change the terms and condition, and after that from there the next day, a few hours later, they shut down the whole company. I mean they do a closure itself. Technically you can't really sue them with their new terms and condition because you have not agreed with that or whatsoever, something like that. And after that, I mean it's just the legal works. There's a lot of loopholes, a lot of exploitation going on. The world is very dark. And after that from there I would say, if let's say they open up in the future itself, I would not really recommend you to put your funds with them. Instead, just whatever that you have lost and imbalance itself, hopefully they are gonna make that promise to basically make money through the new investors' money and then pay you back. Oh shit, it sounds like a Ponzi now. I mean, it is what it is. And after that from there I would say that's the end of the video, and I can't really like go on with this content itself. It's really clear, crystal clear. And after, I'm going to link all of the article and after that the video down below, so you can do your own research and have your own closure, your own grieving. And of course, do not put funds that you can't afford to lose in the crypto space or whatever investment product, even though it's regulated, FDIC approved, insured or whatsoever, just don't. If you can't afford to lose it, just hold crypto. If not, hold it in the cold hard cash. That's the safest form of storage, I would say. If not, you can just hold a gold bar at your house or whatsoever. So I mean, like, the world we are in yet is basically facing a very huge economy crisis or whatsoever, and after that, from there, we're gonna look at the big companies going down, and after that, getting built out and stuff like this. So yeah, there's a lot of shit that's happening in the financial world. And after that, I've come to the end of the video. If you like the video, kindly leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notification, and of course support the Patreon if you want to, and see you on the next one. Bye bye. Peace.